Hello StarCraft fans, this is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. This is a game between Snute and Buildings on King Sejong Station, the latter edition. In the bottom right side of the map, we have the red Zerg player, it is Buildings from Team Ascension. And in the top left side of the map, we have the blue Zerg player, it is Snute from Team Liquid. So this is our ZVZ, not quite a weekly ZVZ. I do try to do one mirror matchup every week or so. So I did a PvP recently, a TVT recently, and figured it was time for a ZVZ. So for those of you who are fans of this matchup, welcome aboard. It's good to have you. I know these don't get as much attention as other things, but that's okay. I do try to be equal opportunity. All matchups of StarCraft 2, all levels of StarCraft 2, and that way everybody feels included, which is kind of what I'm all about. Pool first out of Buildings. Well, it looks like a hatch first out of Snute based on the timings. Yes, indeed, there's that hatch first coming right on in. So Buildings is going to be aggressive here. And we'll see if it pays off for him or if he's going to be just more and more behind in economy thanks to Snute's early hatch and his ability to defend whatever Buildings can throw at him. Again, Snute is a very accomplished Zerg player. He's been around for a while. He's a fan favorite of sorts. And, I mean, he goes against people all the time on the GM ladder. And this is one of those games. Spawning pool on the way before the extractor. He wants to have lings out before he gets speed, which is fine. I mean, that's generally true anyway, but he doesn't want speed immediately, I guess, is what he's trying to say. And that's an evolution chamber. So is he going for... this could be interesting here. So he went pool first, into extractor, into evolution chamber, and a little hatch into evolution chamber. This could be used for +1 attack on his lings or +1 armor, which is important because +1 armor on lings allows them to survive baneling hits. No upgrade or 0 upgrades on a Zergling. A baneling will kill it immediately, but if it could survive 1 shot from a baneling with 1 HP, that's a big deal. I know he's going for melee attack level 1, so he's going to make his lings a little bit stronger. Then Snute's here. Hope there aren't any banelings because it doesn't help much in that situation. But yeah, it looked like he might just start pumping out lings here eventually. He has about 20 or so supply. 18 of those are workers. That's generally where I like to start pumping out lings and being aggressive off of 2 bases. We'll see what he does. As it looks like right now he's just injecting. That's a fantastic play. Possibly going for another queen here at some point. He's moving this queen down to do some injects on that base. All right. All right. Meanwhile, Snute again is going a little bit more standard. He's getting speed. He's keeping the gas on, which means he wants a quick lair, or possibly roaches, or banelings. That's the baneling nest. We'll have to see how that works out for us. And yeah, I mean, both players are sort of getting ready to go right now. We'll see what Buildings does here. He is continuing to get workers. He's at 24 total harvesters right now. He is getting that second queen, obviously. You want to have at least 1 queen per hatch. That's my pro tip. And taking a third hatch is Snute. I mean, despite being basically blind as to what's going on here from Buildings, he knows there's a hatch there, but that's about it. I mean, I guess he could tell the worker saturation too when he peeked in, but otherwise, he doesn't know what's coming. Are there roaches coming? Are there speedlings coming? What? Buildings is now making 4 lings, which is good. He's trying to time this with the completion of the melee attack level 1 and his own baneling nest. So this is going to be ling baneling. I'm just not entirely sure how Buildings is going to make this work against, again, the very standard opening of Snute. Snute does not have an evolution chamber. He's not getting any upgrades whatsoever. He's really trying to focus on using that gas and those minerals on other stuff. So baneling nest right at the front here for Buildings. Baneling nest right at the front here for Snute. Just a smaller area to run around in. That's what I would call that one. So they're slowlings for Building, and they are speedlings out of Snute. Not good. Ah, the speed just kicked in for Buildings here. So he has a ton of lings. And Snute should see this is not a good place to be. Defender's advantage definitely favoring Buildings there. Snute's going to run all the way home at the exact same speed as his opponents because they are also Zerglings. But third base coming up for Snute. I'm not sure if Buildings knows it's there because he has an Overlord scouting it, if he's able to kill it or not. These 2 defensive banelings are ready to rock and trying to kill them with small groups of lings. One does explode a little bit harmlessly there. And another one, can they get it? Yes, getting the second one as well, which means these lings are free to go to town on this hatchery. As Snute is going to lose his third hatch. More and more lings coming out here. That +1 attack has completed. Their DPS has been increased a lot. I mean, because their attack speed is so fast, it's pretty darn impressive. There goes the hatch. Banelings morphing in as well. Lings trying to come up. Be so careful about the banelings, though. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. Lings getting a full surround on these queens. Transfuses trying to keep them alive. Drones being pulled off the line here as well. And Evolution Chamber trying to come up. Drones absolutely just getting massacred right now. 5 drones have been killed so far by buildings. It's not as many as you would think, actually, and it's 37 to 29 harvesters. So keep in mind that Snute is definitely up in worker count compared to his opponent. Third base is on the way for buildings. Ling versus Ling action. Baneling hit there. +1 Carapace is on the way for buildings. What I talked about earlier, where his Lings can survive a Baneling hit, is now applicable. More Banelings coming up for Snute, playing pretty darn defensively. Again, losing your third base does make you a little bit more wary of what's coming your way. Big old time Baneling hit there. That was not good. That was not good for Banelings. He's lost 49 Lings so far and everything there. Ouch. That control is a little bit sloppy. Just a little bit sloppy. All those Banelings. Buildings trying to get his own hits off, and he does pretty good there. But that Baneling survived a hit. So many Lings continuing to stream across the map here. Buildings is trying to make this thing work despite being down 28 to 42 total harvesters. Can they get this hatch? He has some Lings here. Roaches. Roaches, though, definitely outranging those Banes. This is a problem. This is a problem. +1 attack Lings, especially +1/+1 Lings, are pretty good against Roaches. So we'll see if buildings can make this thing work. A lair is on the way for Snute, and there's really no sign of a lair at all for buildings. This is a super aggressive play out of the red Zerg player. Again, Ling's getting that full surround, killing Roaches, killing Queens. Look how good these guys are with +1/+1. Wow! I mean, I don't know if they're going to go up that ramp, but they kind of want to go up the ramp. Another full surround here on some Roaches. There are more Roaches coming down the ramp, but more and more Lings coming on in at the same time. And the Lings decide they don't really want to engage there. The Roaches did have a pretty good position. I guess killing that hatch is going to have to be the consolation prize, because they're going to take it down. These Roaches are going to try to save it, but there's no way. That hatch is not long for the world, and it explodes, getting out of there before the Broodlings can kill any of them. Immediately replanting is Snute, but not really going to work here at all. Buildings really using this third mostly as a macro hatch, not really mining from it at all. It's 40 to 30 total harvesters in favor of Snute. And the Ling stream just continues to keep coming here from buildings. Roaches trying to save the hatch. Nope. There's a cancel. The drone does manage to get out of there alive, which is a nice pickup. Lings heading on down once again. Alright, so buildings, for all the damage he's done right now, I'm not sure if he's actually ahead. There's 12 Roaches out, 24 Lings out, 3 Queens, a Baneling out of Snute, and Snute's up 43 to 40 total harvesters. Buildings has been macroing up pretty hard in the last couple of minutes here. He has a lair coming up too. Buildings continue to do this thing. That Baneling hit is going to be massive. Oh, he dodged it. He dodged it just in time. Oof. Any upgrades on these guys yet? Nope. Snute is deciding to play without... Oh, it does have +1 melee attack off of his Lings. And there's the tech switch to Aspire out of Buildings. Infestation Pit on the way for Snute, so you got to watch out for that. But Buildings is definitely switching on over to the Mutalisk, which might be pretty good. There's a Spore Crawler on the way. I'm not sure what was scouted by Snute. Snute still hasn't scouted anything. But you know what? If you see this many Lings out of your opponent and not many Roaches or anything else, then you know what? Go ahead and assume Aspire's on the way, because they're saving that gas for something. So might as well have a Spore Crawler or 2 up. Get some Infestors as well. And try to prepare for the Mutalisk onslaught. Double Extractor coming up at the third base. Yeah, I definitely need a lot of gas if you're going to go Mutas here. It's 48 to 45 total harvesters. Units lost. 110 Lings have lost their lives. Only 7 Roaches, surprisingly, and 5 drones by Snute. Lings trying to hold map control. Oh my gosh, can they get this base again? Banelings, big old Baneling hits. Yeah, sort of. Lings trying to kill these Ravagers. I'm not sure if that's actually their primary target, but they pop out with full energy because that's how they work. Lings running all over the place. Again, trying to hold map control is what they're doing. Trying to make sure that Snute can't move out. Snute can't do any damage to him because of the presence of the Lings. And so far, it's working out pretty well. Again, Snute hasn't really crossed the halfway part of the map with anything recently. But he's feeling pretty confident in his Roach play. Buildings is making those Mutas that we mentioned earlier. He's making 11. He's making 11 of them here at the 9-minute mark, which seems pretty darn excellent. Lings boosting on up here. Going to knock down this wall. Possibly going to try to attack with the Lings while the Mutas are harassing elsewhere. Baneling on Baneling action. And the Mutas are flapping their way somewhere, going for that third base. This Queen count is a little bit intimidating for Snute. He has 8 of them, which seems like a big number. But the Muta's flying around. That's the problem with the Queens and the Infestors. That is a good defense against Muta. The infestors can fungal growth the mutas down. The queens can outrange them. See this range here? Range of 8. Definitely outrange the mutas and just kind of take them out. So the mutas are being very brave to fly around near these infestors. They do take out an extractor, which is good. Fungal growth whiffs there out of Snute. A singling got in there for Snute, so he's actually scouted something now, which is good. He knows there's a third base, which he has to assume. But now he knows there is one Hydralisk Den on the way out of Snute. That's good. Again, the fungal Hydra combination also good against mutas, but resisting the temptation to try to go muta against muta. All right, so it's definitely just straight up Ling muta here for buildings. Does he have any banelings at all? He has 5 of them. Are they defensive banelings? Yes, they are definitely defensive banelings. Sitting on that ramp. Ling's taking out creep tumors. Not really worried about anything else. Baneling hits. Again, increasing that number of killed Lings to 133. Fungal catches that muta, but does not actually kill it. Oh, the infestors! No! No, no, no. The infestors out in the front. 1 infestor dies. 2 infestor dies. 3 infestors, and all the infestors are gone! Holy shamoly. That was a big play out of building. And now Ling's free reign over these roaches, over these ravagers. The queens trying to stab at them too. Queens are going to die, though. This is way too many muta. Yeah, transfuses are available, but not forever. And all the queens are gone. How many queens are left? 2 queens are left for Snute. The Roach Army just going for it now. Desperately trying to get out there and base race his opponent because all of his infestors are dead. Oh no, Lings come up to clean him out. It's 154 to 135 total supply. Snute still has a bit of a lead at 140 over 138. Roach is still trying to cause trouble, but man, these Lings are +1/+1 and they're not messing around with anybody. Hydras. Whew. Banelings sitting on top of this ramp as well. The muta count is looking pretty darn fantastic. Little Ursadat calf is going to live here. Hydra, I don't know. Hydras by themselves, maybe not good in this situation. The Banelings have to hit, though. The Banelings have to hit on the Hydras for buildings to do this thing. Moving right on in here. Banelings are crashing right on top of those Hydralisks, really chasing them down. All the Hydras are gone except just a small handful of them. The mutas do manage to clean everything else on up. Another queen going to die. Running away from that spore crawler, this group of roaches and ravagers, again, not long for this world. Buildings has not been able to do too much damage to the economy of Snute, but he's been killing the army over and over again. Muta's just trying to take out Overlords, trying to supply block the other Zerg player, and so far, no luck. No luck with that one, but the roaches just getting massacred from above. No upgrades still on those mutas. Finally getting Baneling speed. Here is buildings. That would have been useful in the previous battle, but hanging out with these mutas. And more infestors coming out for Snute. Does he have pathogen glands? Looks like he has pathogen glands. Seems they pop. Actually, no. No, they do not have pathogen glands, surprisingly. Infestation Pit now coming up for buildings. It's 3 base to 3.1 bases. Buildings does not quite have his 4th base yet, but he's working on it. Muta's trying to fly on in, and are there enough mutas to just get rid of that spore crawler? Looks like there are. Pretty darn quickly, and 3 volleys. 3 volleys takes it down. Meanwhile, Lings come in for the counterattack on this side, trying to kill these queens, trying to kill these hydras, and Muta's trying to avoid getting fungled. Again, that's what you really need to do, is avoid that situation. Lings taking out those hydras. This base is a complete loss. Forced evacuation from these drones. Can the Lings with their +1 attack take down this hatch for what feels like the 8th time? It's going to be close, and I think they can get it. Yes, they do get it, and then the Lings try to run away, but I think every one of them will die. No, a handful do manage to escape there. So Snute is down. Snute is down a base and almost down 2 bases. As soon as buildings get this up, it's 54 to 50 total harvesters, but this is mined out. This is incredibly oversaturated and almost mined out. The income tab is definitely favoring the red Zerg player in minerals, especially, not so much in gas, but in minerals, absolutely, yes. The APM for these players is nuts. 389 on average for Snute, 334 for buildings. Just playing incredibly fast throughout this entire game. Trying to harass here again, and the fungals, no, misses just barely. Where was that infestor? Didn't have enough. Didn't have enough for a fungal. That is lucky for buildings. That is very, very extraordinarily lucky for buildings. Lings continuing to run around, saturating this base very nicely. 54 to 47 total harvesters. Muta still with no upgrades. Lings are still at +1/+1. Buildings shows no interest in continuing that upgrade path. Leaving these drones alone, though. Ooh, infestor could have killed it. Could have killed it. Wasn't sure if it had a fungal left, though, so decided to get on out there again. And the Lings going after this hatch that has been the focus of their attention since the beginning of the game. Once again, forcing a cancel there. 3 hatches lost by Snute, but I think a couple of them killed in process as well, so it feels like 5. 5 is a better answer. Muta count continues to get high. There are 28 mutas Ultralisk Cavern now coming out for buildings. How's that going to work out for him? Single Overlord does scout out the presence of this army before we're getting melted by the Hydralisk spines. I'm not sure if melted is appropriate or maybe getting stabbed to death is appropriate. Killing another extractor there. Corrosive Piles landing. Not hitting much of anything. Ling's trying to get that creep tumor. Couldn't quite do it. Could not quite do it. That Ultralisk Cavern is still coming up here for buildings. I don't know if that's what you want to do against a Roach Ravager Hydra composition. Maybe it is. I don't know. Snute is getting amazingly supply blocked right now. He is losing all of his overlords. He is down to 92 available supply. The fungal does catch a small handful of mutas there, but it does not kill all of them. Again, another fungal would be nice, but that infestor is another whiff from Snute. He's got to be feeling this right now. More overlords dying, down to 84 available supply for Snute. He can't make anything right now. Ling's running around. This base is finally going to finish for what feels like the first time in forever. Infestation Pit is going to die. There's nothing to save that there. Roachhorn possibly going to take some shots too. And Snute says, fine, I don't care. You take out my main base. I'm going to try to take out yours with my big old army. +2 missile attack has completed for Snute. This base is under a lot of trouble. Ultra is coming out though with chitinous plating. I'm not sure if it's enough. This is a lot of Roach Ravager. These mutas are going to have to come back and assist at some point. But I don't know. I don't know if that's actually going to happen. More mutas dying. This is so many dead, or overlords dying rather. It's a lot of dead overlord. 17 overlords dying. Everything that Snute made is now gone down to 28 available supply is Snute. He has no overlords. 0. All of his supply is coming from hatcheries and hatcheries. Is that really true? Oh no, he has 2. He has 2 overlords, and there's that hatch. That dies again though. Muta's trying to get on out. The infestors really want to catch these things really, really bad. Does catch a nice group of them. Corrosive Bile is going to land on top, killing a bunch as well. Here come the Ultras. Here come the Banelings. No, the fungal on the Banelings, keeping them trapped. Corrosive Bile is landing on top of everything here. Trying to win this battle. No, Buildings is somehow forced to retreat. The Ultra is not enough. The Banelings not enough. Trying to come back in once again for another attack. Again, the Corrosive Bile is available. They gotta kill those infestors. Gotta kill him. One infestor dies. The Ultra's in the front, and that's it. A GG from Snute. Snute is defeated, and Buildings is victorious. What a hard-fought Zerg win there. Absolutely impressive play out of Buildings, going from Lings to Mutas to Banelings into Ultras, finally, and making it work against one of the better Zerg players on planet Earth. Well done by Snute. I mean, the initial aggression with the Lings was huge. He killed this hatch about 5 times, maybe 6. Somebody will have to make an official count at some point. But yeah, just beautiful play overall here. A lot of infestors died. A lot of infestors died. 8 of them. That one battle on up here where the infestors were in the front and the Lings just picked them apart right about here. Pick. That was a big deal. If Snute still had those infestors, I think it would have been a much, much different game. But in the end, Buildings kept making it happen. He ended up losing this 4th base, but otherwise wasn't really under too much pressure out of Snute. He lost 15 drones. Did kill 24. Seems like more than that, but Snute did a good job kind of babysitting his stuff. So that is it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit the subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter and Facebook, both at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.